back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity, The White March. And I've done the math, I did the number crunching, scheduling, and if the game really does run about 160 episodes, again, that could be more or less, depending on how quickly I play, how much time I spend talking to you guys about random stuff like this, and how much I actually complete. I'm sure there's going to be hidden secret things or things that I might just walk away from and not return to. But roughly 160-ish episodes, so about 80 hours of gameplay. We're about the halfway mark. We're maybe a little bit behind that, a little bit ahead of that, give or take. Anyway, long story short, if I do everything that I'm going to try to do this weekend, I should have the game finished recording by the end of the weekend. Or maybe even early Monday or Tuesday of the week. So I should have the entire game knowledge down, at least, even if all the episodes haven't uploaded yet. And that means moving into Pillars of Eternity 2, I should be pretty good to go and fresh with what's gone on and what's happened. So, that being said, let's continue. I believe we did this one already. We read the report. So basically, taxes were collected again. We earned 777 CP. We are in the money. And we cleared out this first level of the tower, and we're about to go upstairs. So, with that being said, I think we can probably check the bed. I don't know if we've been here yet. I think we have. Patting the scratchy old coverlet thickens the air with dust. No one, and I mean no one, has used this bed in weeks. Okay. Yeah, so I've been struggling to get as much done in just various different things. I've played a lot of Shining Force. I've played a lot of BattleTech. I'm absolutely just in love with those two games right now. I've always been in love with Shining Force, but playing BattleTech is just fantastic. I'm loving Pillars of Eternity. I've played a few other games I like. I'm really having a blast with Ys 8 as well. So, I mean, like, I'm high on all the video games that we get to play right now and cover, and I just don't want to stop. At this point, I really wish that this is my only job, because I would be able to commit so much more time and lose so much less sleep if that were the case. It's okay, though. It's okay. Alright, we're going to go ahead and we're going to show ourselves. And we're going to bring everyone into fray. And to do the murder, death, killing thing that we do. And yeah, this is fine. Have a slow, steady murder, death, kill. It's okay. Nothing special. No special things needed at this point. So yeah, no, it's okay.
Let's keep quiet.
And we're gonna probably continue to cruise along toward what's it called? Gaining the next level as we clear out whatever's in here. I don't think we're actually gonna gain much in the way of levels just from killing stuff, because I think we've already got all the experience we can get from killing things in this area specifically. But there's no telling. I feel like I could just walk around and just kill things. I don't think I need to really focus. Okay, this is getting a little bit more terrifying.
Hey.
Okay, how about you do this?
Your thoughts must go deep. Deep.
Yeah, I figured this would go about this way. You guys can just kill who or whatever you want. Not a big deal. Just kind of putting Gibbs everywhere. Good old Gibbs. Alright, we'll take all that. The pulling, pounding energy in the machine feels even stronger up here. It's over here. Oh, I wanted to read that. By golly darn it. Okay, I guess we're going to go in here and... This? It is this. Another page from the journal. Day 10. Patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should drag themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy. No doubt. No doubt. Okay, looks like we got a Sigil of the Arcane. Yeah, you know, we'll put that on you for right now. And a letter from Icantha. Adhelm, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I'd been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person. A firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I've studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you've long disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I've always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Yours truly, Acantha. Well, that seems awfully not nice. Shameth upon you. But also slightly humorous and kind of funny. Okay, I'm going to say we got rid of the wizard, so it's not even really a valid option here. But maybe we get rid of Guan's pledge and we give you this one. And then you can have Guan's pledge because you need things and we just don't have anything for you right now. You don't have any gloves? Why don't we give you these gloves? You were kind of just thrown into the party at the last minute, so... Yeah, no, that whole scenario. Well, this is a pretty underwhelming area. If I had to be honest, I would say that indeed it was quite underwhelming. Day 11, finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said, as much to Trindig, the sky came to life with stray lightning. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad's spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep. Well, sorry guys, I know my chair arm is, chair arm? Sure. Chair arm is making noises. The unfortunate reality of that whole scenario is there's like a handle that you can grab and turn to tighten the chair arm. Well, that apparently was defective from the beginning, and it broke about a week ago. So it's extra squeaky and more loose than normal. I need to actually go and take the time and bring that part of it in, which basically means I need to undo the bolt that's holding my chair arm and go to the store and say, hey, can you give me a replacement? What is this? Anyway, the scroll contains a pen and ink diagram of the Adra device running through the tower. Despite copious measurements and carefully drawn detail, it gives no indication of the machine's purpose. Oh, wait, hold on, something else here. The works of the Ingwithans, a comprehensive guide. Nice. Cash monies.
Shh. Sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
Alright, well, we should be able to breeze through this pretty quickly. I'm hoping by the time we're done with this, maybe the next area, whatever it is that we do, I'm hoping that we'll hit level 10, Undying Heritage. Get to the top of the tower in Heritage Hill. We did find out how the Ingwithan machine in Heritage Hill works. Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
Oh, he's there. The man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Adra pedestal. Only his bare teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
Okay, tell me what happened here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He hisses. That's what he's trying to figure out. He smashes a fist into the Adra pillar. His hand makes a crunching noise, but doesn't bleed. That's bad.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
Covers his face with his other hand.
Research. We came to do research on the tower. Some commission from gods. It hardly matters now.
He clenches his fist in concentration. Given the catastrophe that followed, the commission and your research might matter a great deal. Stick to the present. When did the disaster start? That has nothing to do with the death in the streets. Focus. Whatever happened, I just need you to give me the facts, please. Keep talking, Aldhelm.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask. Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning, we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight.
Well, that sounds bad.
And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start?
That's a good point.
Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work, but I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
He turns to you in a sudden burst of passion. He gazes at the forsaken district beneath the tower. He gestures at the street. What does this machine have to do with souls? You do seem like you know a thing or two about flies. What does it have to do about souls?
No time to slow down. But I can explain. Hold a magnet over iron splinters and they stick, yes? Rub your hand over weir wool and the hair of your head will follow it. So it is with this machine.
Huh. A tremor of frustration runs through his face. He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglonfoth? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. Cut the root between essence and flesh. Left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
He screws his fists into his eyes. There was a stranger in the tower the night this happened?
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
He hesitates, his lips working soundlessly as if he can't remember or can't say his name. You're not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply.
Well, that's lovely. Something gurgles in Aldhelm's throat, and he grimaces. He heaves and retches, eyeing you strangely.
I'm not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I'd do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster.
One shaky hand scratches at his bare, sore-eaten chest.
You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
His eyes glitter and he licks his lips with a cracked, shriveled tongue. What happened to the rest of your team?
By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed, and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck. And there was hardly anyone left.
Jeez. Well, how can I help? Oh boy.
Not your help I need. Heritage shrew squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes. The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Acantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Aldhelm snarls, he shivers, scowling. Alright, that's fair. Okay, I'll go get the words from Acantha. If Acantha knows the control words, then I don't see why I need your help. Okay. I'll go get them.
Yes. Acantha. She was here. In the district. Probably here still. Always prepared. Clever lady, that one. And perhaps you bring me something. Something to keep me sharp. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong.
Really? If only I was more like the Colonel. I would just take whatever I could to get more powerful. It's fine. A violent tremor racks his body. Let's get out of here. Pelagina clenches her jaw, her eyes narrowing suspiciously. Descanto. His condition has turned him into little more than an animal. Don't do it. Alright, well, the Undying Heritage. Okay. Standing near the device feels like being blown about by a storm gale. The stone steps hum with energy. Well, I'm going to go run around this place real quick like, and then we're going to leave this place real quick like. And we're going to go and we're going to talk to the Acantha chick who is storing people for food. Proceed down to the bottom. Nice. Save us a little bit of load time. I like it. I hope you guys are still enjoying the Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. I know I started fairly strong. I got stronger as I went. And then I just got buried in like a million things all at once. And I've fallen off on my recording and uploading. But I am endeavoring to finish my thing. I was hoping to get it fully uploaded beforehand. But at least you can have it kind of playing side by side. I don't know how well that works for everybody. But it could be a refresher course. Maybe you guys wait a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. Or you wait for a sale of Pillars of Eternity 2 before you decide to go pick it up yourselves. And in the meantime, you can check out the conclusion of Pillars of Eternity 1 and my coverage of Pillars of Eternity 2. And as far as I've gotten on getting back to where I was in Pillars of Eternity 2's pre-release, it hasn't gone perfectly well because I've gotten out of the city, but I haven't quite caught up to the few battles that I did fight. So I'm still trying to play catch up. I'm hoping to get another episode or 2 out before the game releases. But if not, I do apologize for that, guys and gals. There's just been so many things, and there's so many amazing games right now, as I've already stated more than once. Alright, we're going to do a quick save, and then we're going to go talk to Acantha.
You return. What if you come seeking this time?
I saw you in a vision. There's something you need to do for me.
Believe me, I've heard that line before.
Uh-huh.
It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. After all, I've stayed in such good shape by choosing my meals carefully.
Yeah, she laughs to herself. Mm-hmm. Well, I need the words that operate the Ingwithan machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
She laughs, a noise that blends the crunch of dry leaves with something piercing and white-hot. You feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
She shakes her head as she pokes the fire with renewed ferocity. The problems in Heritage Hill are bigger than your rivalry, Acantha. Humble Aldhelm now by demonstrating the value of your research. Yeah, it's bigger than the rivalry, I'd say. What do I care? I prepared myself for an eventuality such as this, and I can assure you those dwindling souls in the streets are beyond caring as well. Her pride burns brighter still. Well, then humble him by demonstrating the value of your research. My silence demonstrates it more succinctly. Your words fan the strange coals at the center of her soul. Tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth.
Okay.
It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Okay, that's weird. Acantha closes her eyes, her voice is suddenly soothing. She stands and turns to you, wiping parchment-dry hands on her clothes. How do you operate the machine atop Tir Noneth? Noeth? I got nothing. Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them, like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
You seem to know a lot about this place.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
Well, how do you operate the machine atop the
Back to these
tower?
Tinker's concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
She crosses her arms over her unmoving chest. I'd release them. Harvest them for essence. I'd destroy them. I don't know yet. I'd probably release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
You say this. I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. I can extinguish her pride. You're dead. What does any of this matter? I'm not doing. Your pride's gone, lady. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the squalling, burning mass. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back, crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field. And who will know about it? The pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learned, years of studying the Ingwithan language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared. The opportunities are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. Your opportunities here are finite. Okay, a foolish false sentiment. Knowledge is meaning. It needs no external purpose. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The pride hisses and sputters. It's a little more than an ember now. You're wrong. But there's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Teach me what you know, and I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened, diamond-hard rock. You cast it away where it melts into the darkness.
So be it.
Her voice is calm and quiet.
My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
Sweet.
These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they're no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They are commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Acantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Engwith, once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did.
She retreats from you.
Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Ter Nuneth. Now that you understand its purpose, It will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Okay. Certainly. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words? You said the other towers around the Deerwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Ingwithans have wanted to do that? Remind me, how do you know so much about the tower? I still don't understand why Ingwithans would want to build a machine that tethers souls. We'll start with the top.
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
Huh. I don't know. Destroying it seems like it might do this place some good. You said the other towers, another mystery, hypothetically, anywhere they wish. The real question is why. She already said this one. Remind me, how do you still understand why they would want to build a machine to tether souls? Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Ingwithans as masters of soul manipulation. They couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment. Alright, explain how the control words work. Harnessing the power of Tir Noneth is about understanding what it is designed to do. You know the words and their meanings. You can speak them, and the tower shall obey. That's all I need, thanks. Okay, well, sorry that we freed your food, by the way. Could tell you about it, but I think I'll let you figure that one out all on your own. Well, before we make it all the way back to the tower and we do everything else, I guess I'll do my outro, and then when we come back, we'll actually be in said tower, and we will be at the top and ready to do the whole activation-deactivation thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and until the very next one, my name is Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.